So again, seated, supine, you can lay down. There's a little bit of floor space here. You're welcome to lay down. Seated anyway, just comfortable is key. This will be guided. And we begin our practice with 3 centering breaths. These are very intentional deep breaths, just rebooting our attention. Bringing us into the here and now. And bringing up our motivation for meditating. What are we meditating for? What's our intention for meditating? Our intention, our aspirations become the rocket fuel for our practice. And then releasing that intention, knowing that it's still there as our foundation. We don't need to focus on it anymore. We begin to set this foundation to make this space for our natural wisdom, our natural quietude, our natural luminosity, our natural ease to arise. To do this, we settle the body, speech, and mind in their natural states, starting with the body, always. And so to do this, we're actively noting the sensations in the body and helping the body to be as easeful as possible in whatever posture we've chosen. Feeling our body in contact with the floor, whether it's just our feet, our whole body. Tuning into the earth element, the element of solidity, of firmness. Inviting ourselves to be present, to be embodied. Letting our shoulders drop, the jaw relax. Letting the forehead be spacious and loose. Settling the body in its natural state, the state that the body is in when we're fast asleep. And the body's easeful and loose, open. No tension. letting the body be at ease. And as we feel the body at least somewhat relaxed, we begin to set this second foundation of Shamatha, calm abiding, single-pointed focus. 3 different names for the same practice. And this second foundation is settling the speech in its natural state. This refers to the external speech, our quality of talking. For this brief period of time, there's no need to talk or plan to talk. So we can let the external speech settle. And the foundation of the speech is the breath. The breath is what we use to speak with, quite literally. So letting our breath settle into its own natural state, again, the state that the breath is in when we're fast asleep at night. We're not regulating or controlling the breath. We're just letting it be. We're letting it uncoil itself. So we're witnessing the breath moving in and out of the body with our awareness. Letting no breath pass unwitnessed. But we're not controlling the breath in any way, even though we could. The breath is also linked to our internal speech, the chatter of the mind. And by letting the breath relax itself, ease itself, then the internal chatter begins to naturally subside. Not because we're forcing it or trying to make it stop, but simply because the energy that fuels it is calming down. Settling the speech in its natural state. The internal speech of the mind is often one of kind of compulsive chatter. That's the habit. So we're inviting the natural state, again, the state that's less common for us, but is the actual balanced state of the mind, which is one of easeful relaxation. Noting carefully every breath entering and leaving the body, without necessarily labeling them, noting whether the breath is deep or shallow, fast or slow. No preference, but noting carefully. Checking back periodically to the body, making sure it's relaxed, comfortable. Coming back to the breath. And feeling this foundation of a at least relatively relaxed body, the speech at least somewhat settled into its natural state. And of course, thoughts are going to continue to arise. It's a habit. Changing habits takes time, no worries. But we begin to cultivate this third quality of single-pointed focus, which is a quality of vividness or vigilance. This type of meditation cultivates an alert, relaxed, stable awareness. And to cultivate this quality of alertness, this vividness, we give the attention a particular point of focus. And in this case, we're choosing the contents of the mind itself. So if we're unfamiliar with watching the thoughts, again, not with our eyes, obviously, but with our awareness, we can generate a thought such as, this is an apple. And wherever you, subjectively speaking, see that thought arise, pay right attention to that. That space of the mind, the thoughts arising and falling in the space of the mind. If you can see thoughts arising and falling in the space of the mind, there's no need to generate a thought. But if you're having a hard time noticing where to see these thoughts, then you can generate an image such as a green apple. And see where you see that green apple. That's, for the moment, where you're noticing the space of the mind. Watch that thought arise and fall and see if something else takes its place. This practice is called settling the mind in its natural state. Or taking the mind as the path. And when we witness a thought, we may notice that we start thinking the thought. We add on to it. That's not the invitation here. We're watching the thoughts like they're fish in a fish tank, just swimming by. We don't want to engage with them. We're not reaching our hand in the tank to try to move them here or there or add to them. Just let them be. Staying relaxed and still, thoughts arising and falling in the space of the mind. These may be words, images, memories, even emotions. This is all arising and falling in the space of the mind. And we're witnessing these thoughts arising and falling with no sense of ownership. This is like watching a television at a restaurant. You didn't control the channel they've put on. You can't control the content. It's not your restaurant. But you're there, so you're witnessing everything that's coming and going. The invitation here is no judgment. Just let it be. Not your business. Watch them, attend, with no owner. Thoughts arising and falling in the space of the mind. If there are gaps between the thoughts now, no worries. Notice the space of awareness. You're simply being aware. It may be that you could try looking a little closer, a little more intensity. You might be missing more subtle thoughts. But as you look more intently, remember to remain in that relaxed, open space of rest. So you want an easeful, relaxed focus, not tense. Settling the mind in its natural state. The natural state of the mind is luminous, blissful, non-conceptual. The habitual pattern is one of obsessive thinking, tension, constrained breath. We're inviting our body to relax and basically go to sleep while keeping the light of the mind awake. And again, we're not trying to force the thoughts to cease. We're simply letting them relax and release of their own accord. And we're witnessing closely. If you can have your eyes open or slightly open for this practice, it's slightly preferable. But you're not gazing at anything. The gaze is vacant. Keeping the eyes open helps to break the illusion that our mind is contained in our head. Relaxed, stable, vivid. Gives rise to our natural state of bliss, luminosity, and non-conceptuality. And we can bring our practice to a close.